What's up, everybody? Well, I got another gameplay video for you guys today, and today we're going to do Atomfall on the new main PC. So, it's a 9800X3D and a 5090 Astral OC Edition. So, pretty much, it's been an awesome computer. Sucks I'm going to have to use Afterburner. Sometimes that makes stutter, but I even tested in Schedule 1 last night. There wasn't a single solitary stutter the whole time I was playing that last night. So, I'm pretty sure that was the culprit in most of the games. Some of the games were just stutter fests I tested, but some of them I blame on that. Anyway, why don't we stop blabbing and why don't we get into the game?
Well, here's the settings we're going to go with on the new main PC. We're obviously going to play 4K. And the only thing I did is turn motion blur off because I'm not a big fan of that. I don't even like it when I'm getting like 30 FPS or under, which is what it's supposed to be good for hiding. But in any case, why don't we hop into the game and let's see how this beast of a computer can do. Well, now, here we go. We're in the game, and just as a test, I wanted to make sure that the stutters were not from the processor or anything else. Any stutters you see are just from the stupid Afterburner in this case. Because I went and played a little bit more after I was done. Recording the video, camera recorded shit. I just ran around a little bit, and then didn't even save. But I just went, alt-tabbed out real quick. Completely closed Afterburner. Didn't just turn off the thing. I mean, I could just, hit Alt-Home, which is my thing for making it come up and down, but I think it would still be running in the background, running all that stuff. So you'd probably still get the same stutter. So I just killed the program completely, because I use GPU Tweak 3 to control all the rest of that stuff. Well, haven't done anything yet, except for put it in overclock mode. That's about all I did. So it's ready to be overclocked, but haven't done anything yet. Funny enough, though, it's already getting about the same performance. Obviously, getting way more performance FPS-wise, but megahertz-wise, it's already at what my old GPU was. And I had to work pretty hard to get that. So who knows? If it's already doing that without me doing anything, maybe it can hit 3 gigahertz. That'd be cool. And it runs pretty damn cool and quiet, so I mean, even if I do all that, it'll probably go up to like maybe from 65 to 67, and that's still pretty damn chilly. Who knows, it might not even increase the temps at all. I mean, I pretty much have it in a wind tunnel, which was my plan all along. I was like, alright, well, I'm just going to get the beefiest air-cooled 5090 I can, and hopefully I'll win the Silicon Lottery and it can hit 3 gigahertz plus, and that would be great. And then I still have to mess with this CPU too. That 9800X3D can definitely be a lot chillier. I mean, it's doing just fine right now. In normal gaming, it's fine. But if you get to a game where it's at 80% usage or something, it'll get right up into the 70s or 80s, just like my 7800X3D. So I figured it could use a little not undervolting, but it's a negative curved optimization. Although some people say that's undervolting, and then other people correcting me and say that's not technically undervolting, so I don't know who's correct. All I know is it lowers temps, so I'm just going to go with that and say, hey, I'm going to lower my temps by doing some curve optimization. I'm going to turn Performance Boost Overdrive on and do that 200 megahertz overclock too. Like, no matter what, it gets right up to its limit when you do any shader comp. It goes right up to its like 95. But it doesn't lower its performance though, which is interesting. It still sits at 5.225 gigahertz. So you'd think if that was throttling at that speed, it would throttle performance, correct? So I think that's normal. I remember the 7000 series, everyone was like, oh my god, my shit's at 95 degrees, what the fuck, it's gonna break. But then AMD's like, no, that's normal. And then Intel the whole time here, unless you messed with it, sitting here get 100 degrees C when you do benchmarks and shader comp. So it's like, oh, yay. Actually, mine during shader comp I don't think has hit 100 C yet. Only time I've hit 100 C is when I do like Fire Strike and it hits that CPU benchmark part, or if I run Cinebench. Then it fucking shoots right up to 100. Which makes sense. It would shoot up to 92 for a quick second and settle around like 88, 87 on my huge-ass 480mm, the best radiator at the time you could get, with Noctua Industrial 3000 megahertz fans on it. And it's like still getting that hot. So I knew once I took that badass cooler off, it was going to get up to 100 C. But I'm not going to do anything that intensive on it, so That's pretty much my whole thought process. Truth be told, I didn't even need a 14900K, but I don't know. I don't like having something with like like a bunch of cores and whatnot and then going backwards. Usually. The only time I've done that so far, and I don't regret it, is my 9800X3D. That's the first time I've, dropped cores. But my logic there was all I do on that computer is edit videos for my YouTube channel, which I do on my 4090 and 5090. And that's about it. So I don't need a lot of cores anymore, but I didn't feel like lowering the performance on that computer, I guess is what I mean. It already had a 13900KF in it, and I didn't feel like going down to an i7 or something like that. So I was like, you know what? Let's just get a 14900K. Let's see how long it takes to degrade. Although now it at least has all of this BIOS upgrades, so it's got everything it should have. Ooh, is that a metal detector? Ow, stop fucking attacking me, you assholes. I'm trying to get this fucking... Oh, you guys are gonna get it. So, have you guys ever fished with dynamite before? So, what you do is, you grab some dynamite. We don't have dynamite in this game, but what we do have is a grenade. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab this grenade. You're going to pull that pin there, and we're going to throw this grenade in there, and we're going to try to blow these stupid pieces of shit up. Now, I kind of killed myself too, so you're going to want to stand back a little bit if you do this, but I survived by a miracle. But now I got to waste my damn med kit, which don't seem very common, but now we've killed all the fish, so I can get my metal detector. Hell yeah. Now, it's kind of silly. I could have just walked over here from here. I figured I couldn't. Don't know why, but I had to go the hard way, I guess. But hey, I did it. Yeah, let's go back to that. I don't have a lot of ammo right now after killing everybody that I've seen, pretty much. I'm sure there's still one or two stragglers walking around, and they might respawn or something for all I know. I haven't played the game long enough to know how it acts. I don't think there's time, because it's been day for a very long time. I've been running around on quite a few systems, and it hasn't seemed to have gotten any darker. And shadows don't seem to move along if you stare at a wall or anything, so I think it's just static time. And that's okay. Not every game has to have constant changes in weather and all that stuff. And time. Heck, sometimes that's annoying when I'm trying to make these videos. I want it to be daytime, because daytime's usually harder to run than night, and it's easier to see. Yep, that's another place I could go, but I don't want to go into tunnels and whatnot. I don't think that would be a fair representation of FPS. But this thing is getting a lot of FPS. I thought it was only getting equal to the secondary computer, but no, it's like killing that thing most of the time. The other computer would still drop to like 120 and like 130 sometimes, and then get up to about average of 170 to 180. This thing seems to mostly be over 200 all the time. Alright, I'm going to have to learn how this thing works. I figured when you got to the red light, yeah, that was good, and then that's where you dig, but apparently that's not how it works, because I've dug in like 3 or 4 places, and I ain't finding nothing. Dang it. There we go. Tried to open my lighter and failed. Alright, I'm just going to put that away and I'll figure that out for myself later. I don't want to bore you guys staring at the ground for 20 minutes. And now I'm curious, does this one at any time drop down into the 120s? Sometimes it drops under 200, but I haven't seen anything quite that low yet. And this thing got really smooth frame times, and I was going to give it the win, but when I went to set up my camera recorded stuff, it started adding in some weird little frame time spikes. So I'm always fair. If it starts doing that shit, I can't very well say, oh, well, it's the smoothest computer. You just got to ignore those weird frame time skips it does every once in a while. That's not fair. So as far as like smoothness goes, I think the G15 Advantage might have won if you want to be completely fair. Because even the secondary computer, while recording anyway, had some extra stutters. It didn't seem to have them at all when I stopped recording and did the camera portion, but I don't think the G15 Advantage really had it. And it was using OBS, which usually fucks me over more, so I'm kind of impressed. Obviously, the secondary computer was kicking its butt in FPS. And it's not like it was a stuttery mess, but there was a stutter or two while recording, so just keeping things fair. And then the Alienware had tiny little stutters. They wouldn't be noticeable, but they were still there. They were similar to what this thing started doing, actually, just not as bad. But yeah, I think, I went up here, stopped, then I set up for camera, and then it started doing it. So I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, why don't we go ahead and go move on to camera, and you'll see what I mean.
Well, now for some camera recorded gameplay. Oh yeah, he doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Hello, Mister? Ran into a wall petting Misty. Here we go. We'll stop and then pet Misty that way. I don't want him to know a wall. Nice jump. Oh yeah, he's empty. It says so. Derp. Wonder what's up with those weird little frame time skips. Wasn't doing that. I stopped and set this camera up and now it's doing that all of a sudden. That's strange. I think it happened on another PC too. And I did the same thing. That's so weird. I don't think I'd noticed that without a frame rate counter, to be honest with you, but that's definitely not as smooth as a secondary computer. In the frame time department, I think we're getting around the same FPS. Sometimes hitting more, but this is at 4K versus ultra wide 1440, which is still way harder to run. We're using 530 watts sometimes, but that's good. 500 watts, and it's at 65 degrees because this case is badass. And my CPU's at 60 degrees, and I haven't done nothing, anything. I haven't overclocked, undervolted, done nothing. I need to do that soon.
Hello again.
Ooh, what's that? Ooh, that also seems useful. So, what if we do this, huh? I'll give you... those. give me that key? Nope, still not good enough, huh? Okay. What if I also throw in some poison? Okay.
Wanna trade again? You know where to find me.
Yep.
If out new comes into me hands, it goes straight in stock. Just saying. It's worth coming back to see. Oh, I feel some uncontrollable gossiping coming on. Pin back your luggles. You seen the wreck convoy nearby? Oh, that were a sight when it happened.
Was it?
Big bang. Down came the bridge. All the lorries and that came tumbling down like Jack and Jill. Aye, I saw someone come away. They were a ways off. I suppose it must have been one of the soldiers. They went towards the rail yard. Didn't see anyone else get away though. Poor sods. Outlaws reckon it were them from the woods. The druids, we call them. I didn't reckon they'd know their way around dynamite. Bridge was proper blown up. The druids were all over the place like flies after though. So maybe it's true. Just not heard of them taking on something so big before, that's all. Oh, the crazy folk in masks. They live in Casterfell Woods. If you've not met one yet, count yourself lucky. You need anything, Molly will be here.
Alright, cool. Useful information for the win.
Attention!
That's right, I can go around and collect their guns I couldn't get and give them to her and maybe get that power unit thing. Maybe then I can power up that other thing I found in that no trespassing area. Let's go around and try and find all the guns. I know I left a lot of dead carcasses around. Not that much in here, huh? I figured there was gonna be some badass chest or something in here. Oh well, it's still worth trying. Looks like a giant ether NATO. Or a plasma NATO, one of the two. Alright though, I'd say that's probably good, so let's go wrap this video on up. Well alright guys, that's a wrap for Atomfall on the new main PC, and it handled it effortlessly. Although, it did do some weird wonky stuff with the frame times. I wouldn't really notice it without, you know, Afterburner up there, and who knows, it could be Afterburner's fault. But the secondary computer had way smoother frame times. Like, it's like, not like, I don't mean way like, oh my god, night and day difference, but it was just a smooth line versus this one having tiny itty bitty little dips. So, it's just a little bit better, that's all. But I don't think I'd notice a difference, and this one's definitely getting about the same FPS. They both felt smooth as butter, so that's all I care about. But in any case, that's all I got for this particular video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoy making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.